Finally, with all 8 instruments, it's now time to make our way towards the egg on top of the mountain. Music. The fish stirs in the egg. You are there. This is a hint, reiterating what I've been saying. The windfish is inside of the egg on top of the mountain, so that will be our next major destination. However, before making our way directly to the egg, we have to make one stop in Mabe Village, and we have to visit the library. There is a puzzle inside of the egg, and it requires us to know a certain pattern, and that pattern can only be found inside of a book within the library. And it's not a set pattern, it changes every time you play the game, so from game to game. So you have to actually go to the library and read the book at the bottom right corner. Dark Secrets and Mysteries of Koholint. Do you really want to read it? Round and round the passageways of the egg, and then there's a pattern. Be sure to jot this down, memorize it, whatever you need. This book reeks of secrets. Alright, so now it's time to wake the windfish and go to the egg. But before, we can make one pit stop here in Mabe Village and talk to some of the characters. Thank you for everything! Link, you are the kindest boy I know. One day I made a wish to the windfish. What was the wish? It was... No, it's a secret! Dude, you're asking me when we start to live on this island? What do you mean by when? Whoa, the concept just makes my head hurt. So you thought I was done with Marin's voice, but now I am done. I'll assure you of that. But the boy says, I think Link is becoming self-aware, because he's asking the boy when he started to live on this island. It's a hint to saying, like, Link knows something is fishy, something's going on, something's strange. Nevertheless, now that we have the secret pattern from the book in the library, it's now time to head on over to Mount Tamaranch at the top of Tall Heights, or at the top of the mountain, and wake the windfish. So head up the steps and just make your way right up to the egg and pull out your ocarina and play the Song of Awakening, which is Marin's Ballad of the Windfish. The time has come. The windfish awaits. Enter the egg. Hoot, hoot! I think that's going to be the last hoot hoot of the walkthrough. Actually, maybe not. I think there's another one. Nevertheless, enter the windfish's egg, head up a screen, and just fall down. And now we are in this little maze here. And this is what we need to use the information that we got from the library book. The pattern is unique depending on your particular quest and whatever the book said in the library. So don't necessarily follow exactly what I'm doing, as your pattern might be different. But once you go through all of the steps, you'll come to this room, of which you'll fall down and you'll take on the final nightmares. We were born of nightmares to take over this world. We made the windfish sleep endlessly. If the windfish doesn't wake up, this island will never disappear. We would have been the masters of this place, but you had to come here and disrupt our plans. Hee hee. You can never defeat us. Let's rumble. And this starts the final boss battle, where we will take on numerous nightmares. The first being a giant bot. And it sort of resembles the boss battle of the giant boss blob from the Color Dungeon. He'll jump around the room, and all we need to do is sprinkle it 3 times with magic powder. And it's pretty easy. The easiest of the nightmares, or one of them, I suppose. It could be a reference to Adventure of Link, as there was a giant bot enemy at the end of Adventure of Link. I'm not sure if it's a direct reference, but the sprite does look similar. And the next nightmare here is the Nightmare of Aghanim. And this leads a lot of people to believe Link's Awakening is a direct sequel to A Link to the Past, which is pretty confirmed in terms of timeline theorists. But Aghanim, the boss battle, is identical to the A Link to the Past one, more or less. Aghanim will shoot these like power balls at you, and he will also shoot these like star projectiles at you that you cannot deflect. When he shoots the star projectiles, you want to try to get out of the way. It could be rather difficult as it comes rather quickly. But when he shoots the power balls at you, you need to just slash at them with your sword to knock his own projectiles back at him. So in a way, you're using his own power to defeat him. After 4 hits with these magic balls, he will have been defeated, and he will warp into the next nightmare, which is the Nightmare of Moldorm. We fought Moldorm earlier in Tail Cave. This one's a little more difficult as it takes 8 hits with your level 2 sword. It's a good idea to equip your mirror shield and just always hold it out, because unlike when we fought him in Tail Cave, you can't actually fall down, but even if he knocks you away while you're holding your shield, you won't take any damage. So just keep hitting him in his tail. This is a rather easy phase of the final nightmare too, as long as you're doing this properly. Alternatively, you could equip Rock's Feather and just jump over him whenever he's nearby. The next nightmare is, hey look, it's Ganon! The Nightmare of Ganon, another hint that this takes place right after A Link to the Past. The Nightmare of Ganon, its boss battle is just like it was in A Link to the Past, except he's a heck of a lot easier. He'll toss his trident at you, but all you really need to do is use your Pegasus boots and dash towards him. This next phase, the Nightmare of Landmole, you can defeat him with one Pegasus dash, you can defeat him with the hookshot, the bow and arrow, the boomerang. It's just one hit and he is defeated pretty much. And here we have the final boss battle, and it's the Nightmare of Deathel. He's got these 2 giant arms that'll swing across, and you need to either just move away from them or use your Rock's Feather and jump over them. And the boss battle is sort of like fighting a Goma in the sense where you have to wait for its eyes to open up, and then you can hit it with the bow and arrow. And it takes 16 arrows to defeat him. So you can just keep jumping over his arms and just hit him in the eye with the bow and arrow. Alternatively, there is a very easy method to defeating him. If you've completed the training sequence, you have the bow and arrow. You have the boomerang, and you can use the boomerang, and it's one hit right in the eye directly, and Deathel will be defeated instantly. So it's kind of like a trick. If you took the time to get the boomerang, he's rather easy. So the timing has to be right. You have to hit him when his eye is completely open, and once he's done, he is done. This island is going to disappear. Our world is going to disappear. Our world. Our world. I think he's inferring our meaning Link as well. Link, you have beaten all the nightmares. Climb the stairs before you. And that's going to do it for the Link's Awakening walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment. Please let me know what you think. And enjoy the ending.